As Disney started to get their groove back in the late 80s and started to release more successful content, the Disney sing-along songs volumes were updated to appeal to a more of a wider variety of audiences. So instead of having just classic Disney songs like we had for the first 4 volumes, this time around we decided to add some entirely different and unique songs to them, including songs that were basically just folk songs. Now this started early on in this 5th volume, which is Fun with Music. In case you do not know, obviously by the cover of this was modeled after Oliver and Company. Now, Oliver and Company had just come out in 1988 and had exceeded everybody's monetary expectations, though critically it was a little mixed in terms of reception. Now, the theme for this one obviously is just different types of varieties of music. So we have rock, we have classical, we have jazz, we don't have hip-hop yet. Disney wasn't cool enough to do hip-hop yet. But for the sake of argument, we basically stuck around with whatever types of music that were appealing to kids that weren't allowed to be involved in the rap music. Songs in this one include Fun with Music from Mickey Mouse Club, Why Should I Worry from Oliver and Company, With a Smile and a Song, Snow White, Let's All Sing Like the Birdies in the Tiki Room, All in a Golden Afternoon from Alice in Wonderland, While Strolling Through the Park from the Nifty 90s, Boo Boo Boo, The Symposium of Popular Songs, Green with Envy Blues, Adventures in Color, Good Company, Oliver and Company, The Blue Danube Waltz, Square Peg in a Round Hole, Old MacDonald Had a Band, Scales and Arpeggios, and the Why Should I Worry reprise. Now, if you are looking for a more modern release of this title, it was never re-released in this 3rd edition of the Disney Sing-Along series. Why? I have no idea. You're just going to have to ask someone who is at Disney. But as you can see, it has the classical tripod sticker here that was synonymous with all films released in 1988 for Disney. No print date, but it also has the original Disney Sing-Along label on it. So, that's interesting. Now, to go along with Oliver and Company, this one's pretty good. I enjoy this one. Not as good as, say, the later ones, but it's definitely a fun one. Unfortunately, it never got re-released, so the only editions of this one that exist are the 1st and 2nd editions, so that's a little sad. But oh well, time to move on to the next one. Because just as quickly as Oliver and Company was the most successful animated film of all time, it was quickly trumped by The Little Mermaid, which was released a year later, and also got put into the Disney Sing-Alongs collection thanks to the wonderful music written by Howard Ashman and Alan Menken. Now, Under the Sea is one that I have held close to my heart for a very long time, and it's mostly because of the few Disney Sing-Alongs we did have growing up. This was one of them. Now, we had the later edition, that was the purple box with the more musical and colorful and cartoonish type of font for it. So, for the sake of argument, I would like to say that one's the one I grew up with. Unfortunately, we don't have it anymore, and that's a story I don't want to get into as to why that is, because it actually has nothing to do with the Great Video Purge. Something a little bit more sinister, if you know what I mean. But the songs in this one, as you would expect, it's based on the seas and the ocean and things that live in the ocean. So we have, obviously, the titular Under the Sea, By the Beautiful Sea, which was a folk song, Never Smile at a Crocodile, the unreleased song from Peter Pan, That's What Makes the World Go Round from The Sword and the Stone, Kiss the Girl from The Little Mermaid, At the Codfish Ball, and The Sailing, Sailing, and The Sailor's Hornpipe, both of which are folk songs. Whale of a Tale from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and The Rescuers' Oscar-nominated song, Someone's Waiting for You. Of course, Under the Sea was the one that won an Oscar, but hey, who's counting? This, like I said, is one that I've always held close to my heart because of how much I've loved The Little Mermaid most of my life. So, let's see. We got a print date of April 16th, 1993. So this is one of the ones that it was released before they did all those big edits to everything, which is good. Which is good because I love, like I said, I love the Little Mermaid, and this is one that I won't say I watch all the time, but when I think of a Disney song, 9 times out of 10 when I want a Disney song to listen to, it's probably going to be Under the Sea. The other one time is Friend Like Me, but we'll get to that one next part. The next video we'll be looking at now is Disneyland Fun. This was probably the most well-known of the Disney sing-alongs, and unfortunately the box is not in the best of shape. That's to be expected. The tape's almost, 31 years old now? So yeah, it's a pretty old tape. Now, the theme for this one is essentially just a day in Disneyland. So you know how they released those tapes where it was like, oh, this is the tape of Disneyland and all that jazz and all that crap, blah 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 blah. This one's theme is basically just enjoying some of the rides and sights that you can find at Disneyland in California, including some of the newer rides like Star Tours and Splash Mountain, and that's telling you how old this tape is, including Roger Rabbit was the newest character that hadn't even added the Little Mermaid characters in yet. I'm pretty sure this was filmed in 1989, but for the sake of argument, it was released in 1990 to capitalize on Disneyland's 35th anniversary. Now, the songs list here is probably about as wrong as you can possibly be when it comes to the program of the songs. Now, we start out really well. Whistle While You Work, Step in Time, and Walking Right Down the Middle of Main Street, USA. Those 3 are perfect. They are exactly as they are. However, the next song we have is Following the Leader, which is nowhere on here. Following the Leader takes you through Adventureland with Donald Duck. In fact, they even have the picture right there with Donald going through Adventureland with all the kids. But no, we needed to have just not there. The Great Outdoors came next, followed by Zippity Doo-Dah, which is right there. Interesting. And then Zippity Doo-Dah is followed by Rumbly in My Tumbly, or Rumbly in My Tummy. I don't know why they called it Tummy. It should be Rumbly in My Tumbly. That's Winnie the Pooh. Hello. And then it was It's a Small World. And then we had Making Memories, Grim Grinning Ghosts. I Love a Parade was not on the program. Disneyland is a Magical Place, not on the program. The next song was another one that's not on here. The Wonderful Disneyland Parade, which showed a parade in Disneyland. And then the last song is, of course, When You Wish Upon a Star. I don't know what they did with this one. I guess they must have thought that they were going to put in more songs, but they never really did. And the print date is a little flippy over. July 15th, I want to say? July 15th, 1990. And hey, that one has a little tripod sticker too. It shouldn't have one. Honestly, that should have mean that the Little Mermaid tape should have had one from 1990, but it did not, so I guess they were just running out of tripod stickers. But Disneyland Fun is probably the most popular of the Disney sing-alongs because everybody wants to do that whole half-hour trip through Disneyland if they're ever having a bad day. In fact, I uploaded the entirety of the Disney sing-along onto YouTube to commemorate Disneyland's 60th anniversary, and it's my most viewed video, so that's definitely fun. I think it's got just shy of, or just above 2 million views, which shows you just how popular that thing is. Obviously, I'm not making money off of it, because that would just be wrong. I didn't make it, and plus, I'm pretty sure the mouse would eat you if he found out that you were trying to take all of his money from him. Now, the last one is a unique one, or so it was unique until Volume 12. This is Very Merry Christmas Songs. Now, instead of it just being like a day of Disneyland at Christmas or something along those lines, This one is basically just old-fashioned folksy Christmas songs. Now, if you believe this looks familiar, for the 25 videos of Christmas, Jazz Umbra wanted a Q&A, one of those commentary videos from me, and I did it using both Very Merry Christmas songs and the 12 Days of Christmas, which we'll take a look at in the next part. Now, these are basically all of some of the most folksy and classic Christmas songs that we grew up with, including some being sung by some pretty popular celebrities, including Burl Ives, I think, has one. Gene Autry's on here. What's his name? Bing Crosby, there you go. Bing Crosby's on here. And it's mostly just the Christmas songs with cartoonish backdrops to them, so all of these ones that you know and love, and some that you might not, like Parade of the Wooden Soldiers, all in one neat little package, as to is the part of the video. And this was released October 7th, 1994, just a few weeks before I was born, so that's fun. But yes, that is this part. Fun with music, Under the Sea, Disneyland Fun, and Very Merry Christmas songs. Tune in for the next part where we take a look at I Love to Laugh, Be Our Guest, Friend Like Me, and the 12 Days of Christmas. Until then, stay classy, YouTube.